my name is Crystal. I've been a carnivore for years. Today I'm going to be showing you how I make my tallow. From a local butcher shop, Gourmet Meats, I get my off-cut. I really like it. Very little trimming that's required on these, and it comes out very clean. So this is a good sample. Nice and big. Yes, it's a little bloody, but once you get it into the crock pot and start cooking it, it doesn't really matter. So what I like to do is cut these into smaller chunks because they take less time to actually cook down. Best thing to do for what I like to do is take it right out of the fridge so it's a little stiff, so it's easier to cut. These are really nice pieces, nice and thick. If you see ones like that has a little meat on it, you're going to go back and just trim those off. It helps with the process at the end, which we will of course show you, when it comes to cleaning out all the extra debris that comes from making tallow.
Cutting the beef chunks into about 1/4 to 1/2 inch chunks helps with the cooking process, make it a little faster. So once I've got them all cut up, I'll put them into the crock pot to cook down. Okay, so now that I got my tallow all liquid, I'm going to put it into here, put the lid on, and then turn it on to high. Remember, I'm only putting it on high for about an hour out of the 5.5 hour process. This helps heat up the pot itself and keeps a nice consistent level of cook. Normally, one of these ones here will fill about 2 of the small ones. We're going to be putting into a big one, so it'll be just fitting this here for this amount. If you do a full one, you may want to get a second one to help with the storage of it. This here, once it's cooled, you don't really need a lid if you use it day to day, but if you're going to be creating a lot of it, make sure you seal it properly and put it into a nice dry area. Thank you. Okay, we're at the 1 hour mark. We're going to go in with a spoon to make sure it's not sticking to the bottom. And now it's time to move it from high to low. This is what we're looking for in consistency, where it's browned but not fried. So now it's time to move it to the pot. Using a colander and cheesecloth, we're going to remove the top bits before we start moving the liquid into the pot. Once we got all the liquid poured out, we're going to go back in with a spoon to get anything that's been left over. Once it's at room temperature, it's time to start squeezing the cooked bits to get every ounce of liquid as possible. There are times where it's still a little warm, so using protective gloves can help in this process. Removing the colander, now it's time to cook it. Putting it at medium temperature to cook out any remaining water that's still in the tallow. You see the little bubbles coming up. Once the bubbles stop, you're good to go. Now that we don't see any more bubbles, we're going to be moving it to the jar using a funnel and some cheesecloth. We're going to pour the liquid into the jar to remove any additional debris from the bottom. Look at that nice clean tallow. By using the cheesecloth, we have removed all additional debris, having nice clear tallow. Make sure that we leave it so it's room temperature before putting it into the fridge for storage. Now that the tallow has cooled, it's ready to enjoy. Thank you for joining me today, and I'll see you in the next one.